Hi dear students, we are here again for our video lesson. Today we will talk about still on triangle inequalities and particularly on Hinge Theorem. In this lesson, you will learn the relationship between the angle and its opposite side. As we go through our discussion, keep these questions in mind. Does the measure of the side has something to do with the measurement of its opposite angle? Or does the measurement of an angle has something to do with the measurement of its opposite side? Then we will know the answer of these questions later on. As we start in our discussion, I want you to open your learning activity sheets number 3 or last number 3. We are on triangle inequalities, specifically on Hinge Theorem, and we have mentioned already what you're going to expect from this lesson and those questions that you have to keep in mind while we go through our discussion. But before we proceed to the definition of Hinge Theorem, let us have some illustrations using these scissors that will somehow open your understanding on the theorem to be discussed. Okay, if we are going to open this scissors, a narrow opening, and then if we're going to draw a line at its end like this. Okay, take a look at and observe the lines as we open it wider. And this time we are going to open a little wider. So look at the line. And then a little wider. Wait. It's better to make it a line. And a little wider. Wider. Sorry. Wider. And even if we open it to its widest capacity, its full capacity. Sorry. Iwi siya. Okay. Sinsyahan na lang ang iwi. Okay, that. What have you observed with the drawn lines? Okay, obviously, we see different length or measurements of the line, started with a very small one until the longest one. So as we open the scissors to its fullest, also its end, if we're going to measure, mahimo sad siyang taas kaayo ang iyahang line para ma-cover up ang iyahang both ends sa scissors. So that's what we're going to talk about, the theorems that we're going to discuss today. So what is Hinge Theorem? According to your notes, Hinge Theorem says that if two sides of a triangle are congruent to two sides of another triangle and the included angle of the first is larger than the included angle of the second, then the third side of the first triangle is longer than the third side of the second triangle. We have here the given figure. Since if we are going to just read the definition, it will give us confusions because there are a lot of terms that are being repeated. So we are just going to explain it through a figure. So we will have two triangles two triangles to be compared. Of course, they are not congruent because we are talking about inequality of a triangle. First figure, we have triangle ABC. And then second figure is DEF. According to the theorem, we have a given here. Side AB is congruent to side DE, and side BC is congruent to side EF. Okay, that's a given. And also, we have this included angle. What do you mean by included angle? Okay, included angle is the angle between the two sides that we have mentioned about. So, we have mentioned that AB and BC. So, the included angle here is angle B. In the other figure, we mentioned of side DE and side EF. So, the included angle here is angle E. Okay, it is also given that angle B is greater than angle E. And as I've said, AB is congruent to angle DE, and side BC is congruent to side EF. Okay, these are the given informations. So if this is the case, according to the theorem, if this angle B is greater than angle E, then the resulting opposite side of this included angle, in which sa angle B, the opposite side is the side AC, and sa opposite ni angle E is the side DF. With these given informations, we can say that side AC is greater than side DF. Why? Because we know that angle B is greater than angle E. Bali, dako ni siya nga angle kumpara sa angle E. And according to the theorem, if the angle is larger, then its opposite side also is longer, and if it is smaller, then its opposite side also is shorter. So just like the scissors that we have shown a while ago, that as we open the scissors just narrow as this, then its end also will be shorter, and if we're going to open it wider, its end also will have longer length. So that's what it means to have this theorem. And that means, in short, that the larger the angle, the longer its opposite side. While the smaller the angle, the shorter its opposite side. Okay, do you understand? So, as we have asked those questions a while ago, that does the measure of the side or the measure of the angle has something to do with the measurement of its opposite side, then the answer according to this theorem is yes. So magdepende ang length sa third side sa iyahang opposite angle. If ang iyang opposite nga angle is dako, then obviously ang opposite side will also be longer. So kung gamay sad siya nga angle, ang ihapod nga opposite side is shorter. Okay. So that means if angle B is greater than angle E, then we can say that the opposite side AC is greater than the opposite side of the smaller angle, which is DF. Okay, I think this is already clear to you. Then we will proceed to the converse of the Hinge theorem. Well guys, do you understand the meaning or the essence of our illustration a while ago using the scissors? I forgot to explain to you which part of this is what we call the angle. So if we're going to open the scissors, this one here is its angle. This one. And if we are going to open it a little wider, then iyang angle sad magkadako. Penasad. Okay. Okay. So that is why we say that the angle, the measurement of the angle will immediately take effect on the opposite side, or the length of its opposite side. Now we will proceed to converse of the Hinge theorem. What is converse of the Hinge theorem? Is this something different from a Hinge theorem theory? Well, they are actually very similar to each other, but it is just the way, the other way around rather. So, for example, in our what is the definition of converse of Hinge theorem? The converse of a Hinge theorem says that if two sides of a triangle are congruent to two sides of another triangle, and the third side of the first is longer than the third side of the second, then the included angle in the first triangle is greater than the included angle in the second triangle. So, ganina ang Hinge theorem class, ang iyahang given nga mga informations is just those two corresponding sides and the included angle, and it will take effect on the third side. Ang iyang conclusion dito is adto na sa third side sa triangle. But dinhi sa converse of the Hinge theorem, ang iyahang given, iyang assume dinhi are of course the two corresponding sides and the third side. So ang iyahang conclusion din adto na din paingon sa included angle. Okay, so parehara na siya sa tuang usual nga definition sa pagkagwapa. Kumingon ka og kung ang gwapa nga babae puti or nindot og skin, nice og eyes, nice og smile, taas og ilong, or kanang taas og height. So something like that. Kung imusang balihon, kung naay babae nga puti, or nice og skin, nice og eyes, nice og smile, taas og ilong, taas og height, then we can say nga gwapa siya. So it is just like that with the converse of Hinge theorem and the Hinge theorem. They are just the other way around, or binaliktad lang sila sa isa't isa. So according sa converse of the Hinge theorem, if we're going to to explain it through a given figure. We have here triangle ABC and DEF. Okay, it is given that side AB and side DE are congruent. BE and DE. And also BC and EF. And it is also assumed that AC, side AC and side DF, they're not congruent, but it is stated that side AC is longer than side DF. Okay, so the given are AB and DE are congruent, BC and EF are congruent or parehas sila katag-as, and then the third side AC is now longer than the side DF in the second figure, in the second triangle. If this is the case, guys, then we can say that according to the converse of Hinge Theorem, the included angle still the B and the E. Kay ang iyahang opposite side ni B is taas man, then we can say that angle B or the included angle B is greater than the included angle E. You get that? Kay ganina ang conclusion kay dito ta sa third side. Na kung dako ang angle, ang iyahang third side or yung opposite side is longer. Kung gamay ang angle, ay iyahang opposite side is shorter. But this time, atong giuna og mention or ang given na tuuna is ang iyahang third side. Si third side sa first triangle is longer. And compared to the third side of the second triangle. So therefore, ang iyahang epekto ngadto sa iyahang opposite angle which is the included angle B, kay taas man nga third side, kumpara aning pikas, then ang ihapong opposite angle which is si B is greater than the opposite angle of the second pod which is the angle E. So as you can see, they are just the same. Gibaliktad lang ang iyahang target. Gibali-bali lang siya. Then we can say here that if side AC is greater than side DF, then angle B, the included angle B is greater than the included angle E. In short, we say that the longer the side, the longer the side, the larger the opposite angle or its opposite angle. And the shorter the side, the smaller its opposite angle. Pareha sa kuan ganina sa scissors. Kung dili na to, kung gamay lang yung opening, gamay ra sad ang iyahang mubo ra sad ang iyahang kuan, ang iyahang length sa iyahang end. Pero kung ato sad siyang dakuon og open, ang ihapong end din himo taas pod. So, mo na siya ang pasabot sa hinge and converse of Hinge theorem. Now this time, we will understand this more if we're going to give examples with exact measurements. Okay, example number 1. We have here two given triangles or two figures, ABC and XYZ. It is given that side AB is congruent to side XZ in the other triangle, and then side AC is also congruent to side XY in the other triangle or in the other figure. It is also given the measurement of the included angle, which is angle A and angle X. Angle A has 52 degrees and angle X has 32 degrees. What we are going to look for, or what is being asked, it is being asked to compare, or that we are going to compare the third side BC and the third side of the second figure YZ. So unsa may answer ana? Why is there a blank here? Actually, we are going to compare which side or which third side is longer. Is it in the first figure, which is BC, or the other figure, which is YZ? Now, according to the Hinge Theorem, the larger the angle, then the longer its opposite side. And the shorter, the smaller the angle, the shorter is its opposite side. So, applying that Hinge Theorem, we know that the included angle A has 52, which is greater or larger than the included angle of the second figure, which is X, that has only 32 degree. Now, we know already that the third side BC is now obviously longer than the side YZ in the second figure. So the correct symbol for this is greater. So we say that BC, this side, is longer than the side YZ in the other triangle. Why? Because of the measurement of the opposite angle. So kay dako man ang opposite angle ni BC, so therefore siya ang mas taas kumpara sa pikas. Number 2. We have another figure for number 2, and that is we have a bigger triangle MAR, and it is subdivided into two triangles, which is MAL and MLR. It is given that side AM, this side, this one, side AM is congruent to side RM, this side. So pareha sila og kanang ticks. Okay, so ang ML pod, since kaninga side guys kay duha ang iyahang kuan aniyang function, side siya dinhi sa pikas sa triangle, side po siya sa pikas sa triangle. So obviously by reflexive property of equality, yourself is equal to yourself. So we say that ML is congruent to itself, which is also ML. And then it is also given the third side now. Third side AL of the first figure, which is only 5, and the third side of the second figure, the third side of the second figure is 8. So comparing them, we know already which one is longer. So of course it's LR, or side LR. What are we looking for here? In number 2, we are looking for which included angle is larger. Is it angle LMA or LMR? AML or LMR? So this angle or this angle. How are we going to know that? Are we going to measure it using a protractor? Is there a need? Well, there is no need anymore, because we already have the converse of Hinge Theorem statement that says the shorter the side, the smaller is the angle in its opposite, and then the longer the side, the larger the angle opposite it. So kay si LR man ang longer kumpara sa AL, then ang iyahang opposite angle, which is LMR, is now larger than the second. So the correct symbol that we're going to write here is larger. See, angle LMR, this angle is greater than this angle, which is AML. Do you understand now the essence of Hinge Theorem and the converse of the Hinge Theorem? It's now very easy. I hope that you can now answer your activity in the next page, activity 3, in which you are just going to complete the statement by writing the correct symbol, less than or greater than. So of course, you are going to apply what you have learned on the Hinge Theorem and the converse of the Hinge Theorem. So there is a given example here, number 1, it's already solved. So therefore, you're going to only answer number 2, number 3, and number 4. Now, start answering, and thank you for watching. I hope you understand a lot about this topic, and I hope that you can answer it correctly. Thank you and goodbye.